What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy, Mr. OBF. Back one time for your mind. Y'all know how we do. People, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live. And if you can, people, donate to the channel. Go to OBF, the real Cash App, and donate to the channel, people. We are highly, and I mean highly, appreciate anything that you guys can donate to the channel. All right? Keeps the lights on. Feeling good today, people. It's my day off. I say, let me holler at the family. Got a couple stories that we supposed to do. I know we supposed to do some shows and shit last week. A lot of shit happened last week. Maybe get into it later, but probably not. You know what I mean? But shout out to the team. Shout out to OBF, the network. Y'all know how I do, man. Crack my burr. Sip a little bit. Grab a cigar. Y'all know what time it is, man. Play my theme music.
Today got me right. Yeah.
DJ shout. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My niggas. I'm ready. Hey, without that picket fence, your man may have a heart attack. Run off with your glizzy fight and you can't get your 50 back. I just run off in your spot and we took off with 50 packs. My brother said give it back, but you gotta give me 50 racks. I don't drink no Henny, I put perks that's in my kidney. Just came home from prison, I still walk around with my semi. I think this whole pretty, she want ice cream with her chili. I still love my other bitch, so we can't have no feelings. I got this little red bone, I just call it easy. I just came home last week, get me racks is easy. I want me some raw sex, fuck you like I mean it. Rolling, eating up all the dread, we gon' ball like Phoenix. I don't do no faking, everything I say I seen it. Bet they free my brother, call him blood cause he bleeding. My cup full of codeine, I feel like I'm dreaming. I do not for no me, NHG2 demon. Scratch game, run down in the daytime, we invented that. I picked up my Draco right when I put down my Similac. Tired of smoking dirty niggas, I had made a different pack. Caught up with them dirty pussies, I can't get my sentence back. KD called like 35, mandatory day to day. Herbal just called 17, I hope he see better days. Murders in them homicides, forensic files, license plates. I just hit the streets with all this pressure, start a tidal wave. I don't drink no Henny, I put perks that's in my kidney. Just came home from prison, I still walk around with my semi. I think this whole pretty, she want ice cream with her chili. I still love my other bitch, so we can't have no feelings. I got this little red bone, I just call it easy. I just came home last week, get me racks was easy. I want me some raw sex, fuck you like I mean it. Rolling, eating up all the dread, we gon' ball like Phoenix. Hey, we don't do a 10 song killers, they do headshots. Who that is coming down the street in that red eye? How you let her fall and shut that boy got them extensions? He ain't see 18 and shit, had me in his mansion. Switch gang, whole thing. I ain't came yet, it's cause I'm fucking on the X. Shawty say she let me, I'm on the F for the sex. I got smoke for everybody, I'm tryna see who next. Do or die, only got one life, this shit like suicide. Who gon' slide? You can't come around and feel you ready to die. Freaky out bitches for the run, gave me the low. I got fit for anybody who go double up the scope. I don't drink no Henny, I put perks that's in my kidney. Just came home from prison, I still walk around with my semi. I think this whole pretty, she want ice cream with her chili. I still love my other bitch, so we can't have no feelings. I got this little red bone, I just call it easy. I just came home last week, get me racks is easy. I want me some raw sex, fuck you like I mean it. Rolling, eating up all the dread, we gon' ball like Phoenix.
All right, people. Let's get the show started. All right, people, welcome to OBF the Network. People, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. If you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF the Real Cash App and donate to the channel. People, we highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. I'm out this bitch looking like Wolverine, man. I gotta get a haircut, man. Looking bad out here, man. But that's why when you work all the fucking time, man, you miss your fucking appointments to get your shit cut. But anyway, it's winter time. We had a bad storm yesterday. It's still windy as fuck out there. It's blowing everything. I gotta go check, see if shit's still around on my deck and shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. It's blessed to be here. Hope everybody having a blessed day, man. I wanted to start the show off with the theme music because I, try to uplift a little bit, right? But then, we get these situations where we got to talk about alleged domestic violence, a brother getting convicted in court, and, all the shit that comes with it, racism, all of it, we got to get to it. You know what I mean? This is what we do over here. We talk about it all. We don't sugarcoat. We ain't hiding nothing. But Jonathan Majors speaks out after his verdict. He got found guilty, for if nobody knew, but feel bad for the brother. But then you know me, I'm fair. I gotta criticize some of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And not even criticize it. It's almost like, brother, what the fuck was you thinking? But like I said, in this world, you get to criticize certain things, but you have to be fair. But at the same time, no one's perfect. And that's my whole thing of telling people, none of us are perfect, man. So a lot of times when y'all see me do shit like this and break shit down, it's not to fully just criticize people because of the hell of it. It's so it can motivate and at the same time make us all aware of these situations so we won't all fall into the same trap, right? Because this shit's all a circle. It all comes around and goes around, and we all go through almost the same exact shit in life, right? It just comes off a little different. That's it, people. But let's get into the brother, Jonathan Majors. Speak on this shit, man.
He was on his way to becoming one of Hollywood's brightest stars, with acclaim for his dramatic performances and a promising future as a Marvel villain. But now actor Jonathan Majors is facing the possibility of up to a year in jail after a conviction on misdemeanor reckless assault and harassment in connection with an altercation involving his then-girlfriend. He sat down exclusively with me for his first interview since his arrest, discussing the relationship at the center of the trial, the role that he's...
And let me just say this about to all my brothers out there. Okay, this is no disrespect to white folks, white women. It's no disrespect, because some of y'all down, some of y'all get it. I get it. But to my brothers, y'all niggas don't learn? How many times you have to see these same situations happen over and over and over again, where you Negroes think it's greener on the other side because you run into a sister that may give you a hard time or pushes your feet to the fire to challenge you in life. So you go over here and you run over there thinking the grass is greener over there, fucking around with them white girls. No disrespect to white women, yay. My brothers, please learn from this situation. Stay home. And if you're over on that side, come on home. Like, honestly, come on home. You don't be fucking around, man. This can happen to you. That's why I tell my black folks, this ain't no pro-black shit. Listen, I stay amongst my own. Yeah, we got our flaws. We got a lot of fucked up shit goes on in our community and our people. We get it. I get it. But so does other races of people have their own fucked up shit. I'd rather deal with my own people shit than to deal with somebody else bullshit of a race. Just me. But hopefully we all learn from this. But shout out to the brother Jonathan Majors. I'm praying for you, bro. I'm on your side. We ride, nigga. But hopefully you learned your lesson not to be fucking around with them white guys. And then hopefully other up-and-coming young black brothers in the industry or in life period understand, nigga, stay home. You ain't always got to go out and look for shit to get into shit. That shit is at home. Stay your ass home. But anyway, let's move on.
The role that he says race played and why he didn't take the stand. Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened in my personal life, in my career, in the culture, and conversely, the impact.
When he laughed, that's a nervous laugh. I need y'all to understand that. When he's not like making fun of the situation, because you know you're gonna hear people out there. He was laughing, he chuckled. Listen, you stupid son of a bitches. That's nervous, a nervous gesture in a way of like he's just nervous. It's uncomfortable for him to talk about this shit. He don't really want to talk about it, but he has no choice but to talk about it because he want to get his side up. So, and then he probably got some PR people, and they probably tell him you got to speak out. Even though he could have took the goddamn stand. I'd have took the stand if I was him. Listen, if I ain't do shit wrong, I'm taking the stand. I told y'all. You know, but listen, this man is in a different situation than I am as far as his star credibility and his lifestyle. So I get it. But if that was me, I'd have took the stand regardless of whatever my lifestyle was. I'm just a different breed of a nigga. I'd have took the stand and told my side. I wouldn't have just let that white bitch get up there and speak that bullshit that she simply tried to play victim. I told you what these white girls will do to you. And there's going to be some Negroes out there, and there's going to be some white people out there that are going to be like, well, black women do it too, in a different way. And let me just explain something to you. The difference between us and y'all, right, when it comes to black folks and y'all bullshit. When we have black women do stupid shit, goofy shit like this, what this white woman did, we shuns them bitches. We shun them. I'm not calling women bitches, but these type of women are bitches to me. Fuck them. You don't do no shit like that to no man. You don't do that shit to anybody. It's just weird. You don't make up shit to hurt somebody because you got cheated on or whatever. It's just weirdness. And I get it. It's a natural human reaction of being hurt sometimes to do fuck shit, but not this. Not saying it's like telling, it's like, listen, it's two things worse things you can do to a man, especially a black man, is to say they're abusive, accuse them of being abusive, and raping. And assault, basically rape and assault, all that shit is the same. You don't do that because you mad at us. So if it was a black woman that did this shit, we black people would have been like, man, fuck that bitch. That bitch a lie. We probably would have been even more mad because she is black. Real black people. I don't know about you fake motherfuckers, but real black people we'd have shunned that bitch. Let's move on. But like I said in the beginning of this shit, my brothers, if you out there, crossed over to the wild side, come on home. Come on home. And if my brothers that ain't even out there, stay your ass home. I'd rather deal with a black woman than to be dealing with some of these crazy ass white women. I'd take a crazy black woman over a crazy white woman. I tell you that shit. Let's move on. We're gonna keep it real today.
The impact of this is about responsibility and coming forward and being brave and giving my part of the story.
In an ABC News exclusive, actor Jonathan Majors sat down with me in his first interview since a jury handed down a guilty verdict for reckless harassment, a misdemeanor, and a violation of harassment in the second degree.
You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time. You know, and a lot of it has to do with this.
And you think about that. That's why I feel this brother. This man has a daughter, and you had a nerve to get out. This bitch had a nerve to get on the stand and lie on that man about him abusing her when he got a fucking daughter. Listen, I don't know what's going on in this world right now where some, not all women, but a lot of you women, y'all need to stop. Y'all, listen, it's like black people sitting there feeling like victims of shit because of a lot of shit that our ancestors went through, right? I don't feel like a victim because of what my ancestors went through. I'm actually proud that they fought for us to not to somewhat go through some of that shit. So I don't feel like a victim. So when I speak out against racism and bigotry and shit, nigga, I'm speaking proudly of like disowning that shit and attacking that shit because the shit ain't right, right? But I don't feel like a victim. Listen, to all the women out there, to get to my point, all the women out there, I don't care if you ain't this woman or not. Listen to me very clearly. I get that women in the past, and it may be happened to you in the past, right? That a lot of male chauvinist shit happened, a lot of assaults or whatever happened to a lot of women. Women got mistreated and shit back in the day. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm totally on your side with that. But you cannot be punishing men now for shit that other men did back in the day. Right? Like, you can't, like, make up shit to get back somehow. Like, it's just weird that women, a lot of women do this shit. Like, I get it. We can't say certain shit. We can't touch. We can't do certain shit that we used to can do. I get it. But at a certain point, you're going to be a lonely motherfucker out here, or you're going to wind up turning into a dyke. It just is what it is. You can't take everything away from a man of being a man. We can't be that sensitive to every feeling that you have. It's just weirdness. You gotta let a man be a man. I'm not saying you let a man abuse you and talk down to you and disrespect you. I'm just saying, when a man tell you, stop, fucking stop. You already know where this shit is gonna escalate to. And I'm not victim blaming women for being victims. I'm saying a lot of these women know where this shit gonna go when you're in hostile situations with a man. Just like a man is starting to realize when they get in these situations, nigga, walk the fuck away or do what he did and run, nigga. We getting it. So it's now time for women to understand their position. You have a role that you play into these situations. Calm the fuck down or walk away. If you can't have a rational conversation with whatever the situation may be with your man, walk the fuck away. And like I said, if you know your partner and you know your spouse, you know their temperament. You know, like, I'm a hothead. My wife knows that. I know my wife. Certain shit triggers her if I do certain shit or say certain shit. I try not to do it, and if I do it, nigga, you know what I mean? Look, babe, I ain't mean it. Yeah, apologize, I'm sorry. Walk the fuck away. You know when your spouse is trying to pick with you too. Come on now. You know when shit, when conversations get to a certain level, you know when shit get ready to escalate to where it may get physical. And that's on both parties. But I tell everybody like this, keep your fucking hands to yourself. Fuck out of here. You can't have a conversation, you can't yell and scream at each other without putting your hands on each other, then you shouldn't be together. Because I don't give a fuck who you are, what race you are, what gender you are, or who, if you're dating the same gender. Listen, everybody who ever had a relationship yell and scream and argue and say fucked up shit to their partner. It happens. So if people are sitting out here pretending, oh no, these things can't happen. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't do that. Well, I don't know what fucking universe you live in. What you trying to make people as robots? No, fuck out of here. We still emotionally human beings at the end of the day. Some of us know how to control our emotions a little better than others, but we all get emotional about shit. Please, to the women out there, please cut this shit. Some of you women, cut this shit out of trying to grip men by the balls and make them as sensitive if you want to make them to fit your criteria. Because if that's the case, then men should treat you the same way you treat them, which we know we can't. Because I just started to notice people that a lot of women are very aggressive in their demeanors. Like, they don't have no filter of how they speak, but they want men to do it. You can't speak to me that way, but you can. Fuck out of here. You ain't gonna speak to me any type of motherfucking way and think it's okay. Listen, we gotta do better as human beings. That's all I'm saying.
With this situation, it all has to do with this situation, and she needs to see this, and the hard things need to be done. But it's been hard, you know. Everything's kind of gone away.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star,
This is our family story.
known for his roles in HBO's Lovecraft Country, Creed 3,
I'm coming for everything.
and Marvel productions like last year's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang.
And it was on that movie set back in 2021 where he met 30-year-old British dancer Grace Jabari. The pair dated until March of 2023 when Majors called...
And listen, my brothers is shit, right? Y'all get the most... Some of my brothers, I don't get it, man. If you gonna get you a badass white woman, get you a badass white woman. She ain't bad looking, but she alright. But then it's almost like you date down. Like, Jonathan Majors is here, and this woman we ain't never heard of. She's some British actor. She might be popping over there in Britain, but we don't know her. I never heard of this woman. You dating down. Get somebody on your status, on your level. Now you done went on and got that fine ass Megan Good. You stepped up. See, that's how you do it. You that shit you was done with on girl. You was dating down. Megan Good. You dating up. Get you some women that's on white women on your level. Don't be dating down some nobody ass women we ain't never heard of. That y'all ain't learn, Nick, my brothers. Y'all ain't learned from Tiger Woods. Y'all ain't learned from God Rest the Mamba. Y'all ain't learned from Kobe Bryant. He got this fine ass Mexican sister. Fine. Taking care of kids like she bout that shit. This nigga go on the road and fuck with some crazy non-washing her ass white trailer trash in Colorado that worked at the hotel. And look what happened to Kobe. God rest the Mamba. You know I still love you. I'm looking at Wake Code. Y'all got, I got his shit over there. His picture will be up there soon. Him, Pac, Nipsey Hussle, and Vaughn. Martin, Malcolm, they all gonna be up there. People that I admire and I respect. I ain't putting nobody on my fucking wall that I don't give a fuck about. Just because. But anyway. And then look what Tiger did. This motherfucker dates down. He marries, what she was the housekeeper or some shit? Where the fuck did I don't know what the fuck this bitch was. He married a housekeeper. My brothers, please learn. And then Jonathan Major, date some British dancer nobody ever fucking heard of. He's this big mega fucking up and coming superstar actor. Up and coming, just the shit. And he date down? What? Where they do that at? No. You don't do that shit. Date up. I don't give a fuck. If she a white woman, date up. Don't be dating no bitch you never. Let's move on, man. Listen, my brothers, y'all, some of y'all disappoint me with y'all choices. I ain't perfect, but I'm just saying, date up, nigga. Damn. That's why y'all be in these situations.
Officers called 911 the day after a fight that was caught on surveillance video.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages.
And let me just say this too. To my black people. I know we got white friends. I know we gather with some of our white friends sometimes. But don't let these white people fool you. You still a nigga. They might see you as an equal, but the world don't. So you better be very, very careful mingling with white folks and picking up behaviors from them of really thinking that you're equal. It's one thing to not allow somebody to mistreat you. It's another thing to be naive that you are equal to other people in their mind. You may feel like you're equal, but some of these motherfuckers to the world don't see you as equal. Don't get around your white friends picking up bad habits. I noticed that from a lot of our brothers and sisters. They go over there and get to mingling with them white folks, and then these motherfuckers pick up habits and thinking that they ain't got nothing to worry about because their white friends see them as equals. Not all white people. Not all other races of people either. You still a nigga to them. And according by their rules, they gonna treat you that way. And they gonna let you know. So I think you niggas just roll around with these white girls. And you black sisters walking around with these white boys. There's consequences for that shit. My grandma told me that shit years ago when I was a child. Like, fuck around. You know, it's consequences that come with dating outside your race. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Exact words. She told me, ain't nothing wrong with it, but hey, understand, when you go out there fucking around with them, dating outside your race, fucking around with them white girls, and whatever race, there's consequences come behind that. It shouldn't be, but it is. That's the difference. It shouldn't be, but it is. See, but it is the reality. It shouldn't be you wishing that this shit wouldn't be this way. But it is, it's reality. Use your brain, my people.
Insinuating this much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning.
Police found Jabari on the closet floor of their apartment. Majors was arrested by New York City police, accused by Jabari of assault, strangulation, and harassment, convicted last month, but acquitted of 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment, meaning the jury didn't believe he assaulted her intentionally. Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked, and
my brother, come on. What? I just want to ask a question. What's going on with some of our black folks? Why y'all shocked about some of this shit? We have seen this before, my brother. You shouldn't be shocked. You should be appalled, nigga. You should be pissed. Not shocked. Appalled and pissed. Fuck. I'm shocked. Shocked about what? You thought that you were just going to leave unscathed, nigga? It's this new time that we in, and it ain't just young people, yo. It's a lot of motherfuckers, yo. They just like for some weird ass reason, everybody forgetting reality and how shit really works in this world, especially in this country. Motherfuckers acting like they shocked and appalled, like you shocked. Like nah, nigga, you should be appalled and pissed. Don't be shocked, nigga. They was not allowing you to leave that courtroom, to leave this situation without being scarred, nigga. They have to put a whooping on you on our black people. They want to make examples of us. This shit has been like this from the test of times, from the beginning of times in this country. Like I just don't understand why we be shocked that some of this shit be happening to us. I don't want us to normalize it, but don't be shocked about it. Because whenever you let this shit normalize, you like, it's supposed to be this way, then you stop fighting. Then you start being like sellouts. You start being coons. Start being like Stephen A. Smith and them. Just, hey man, it just is what it is. Start being like Candace Owens. I'm go over there and sell out to the other side. We can't fight them. Bunch of cowards. Please do not ever think that what goes on in this country and allow that shit to for you to seem like it's normal. It's normal. You normalizing it. It's not normal. Real good human beings do not treat other human beings this way. Remember that. And this ain't really got too much to do, it got something to do about race, but it really doesn't. If you're a good human being, you don't treat people the way a lot of people in this country treat others. You don't do that shit. And then they walk around and they pretend that they're good people, and they walk around and pretend they're good Christians and good religious people. Get your goofy asses the fuck out here. We don't believe you. Don't allow this country and this reality that been happening for generations in this country to fool you that somehow we're so much better off than what we were. We wasn't. Look how they want to stop all the progress that Martin and all our black leaders and a lot of other people, different races of people, help fight for, but mainly black folks. Look at it. And look how they use different minorities to checkmate us. They use the Chinese to get rid of affirmative action. You can't make this shit up. And then Chinese people sit there, we get discriminated against. Not like us. If you notice, every different race that's a minority always bitch and complain about they get mistreated by black folks. Let me explain something to you. Before they even be around black people like that, they from another country or they're amongst themselves. They mistreat themselves before we mistreat them. It's like black folks. We mistreat each other, but then we get upset that other motherfuckers is mistreating us. How that works? How that make any goddamn sense? Tell me how that make any sense. That's why I don't like to hear black people bitching and complaining about motherfuckers mistreating us. How are you treating us? How are you treating your people? Do you stick up for your people? See, because we can't always financially help our people. We get it. Everybody in different financial situations. But how do you treat your people? How you morally treat your people? And then come holler at me. Then talking to me about white racist people and other different races of minorities mistreating us and disrespecting us. You disrespect us. It's almost like Candace Owens, right? You see her over there, she mistreat black people, but then she get upset that black people mistreat her and call all out her name. You go at some of the most people that are highly respected in the black community and disrespects them because you don't like certain ways of how they think, right? Or with their personal beliefs. But their personal beliefs ain't really truly hurting nobody. That's why they believe. That's what they believe. But you do that, and then she gets upset, and people like her get upset that black people don't fuck with her. Or some black people mistreat her. Look how you treat your own. Listen, people, I can't expect my wife to treat me a certain type of way if I don't treat her a certain type of way. If I treat her with the utmost respect and treat her as the black queen that she is and respect and love her like she should be loved, why would I, if I don't do that, why would I expect her to do the same for me? If I'm disrespecting her and, mistreating her and shit like that, why would I ever be shocked or appalled that she mistreating me and disrespecting me? That goes for us as our black people. You cannot ask other people to treat you better or treat you with the type of respect that you think you deserve or want, right? When you mistreat your own. Just being real. Let's move on. Or we gonna learn today.
Afraid. I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence, let alone our evidence.
Now, he just speaking in general of his own train of thoughts, right? But, my brother, we all seen the evidence. A lot of us riding with you. You didn't really, listen, this whole situation happened with him. You notice a lot of people, even white folks, ain't nobody really shun him like that. You didn't see women activists coming out shunning him and shit like that because they seen the evidence too. They knew this bitch was lying. But you do have some powerful people, our own people, with the district attorney general, whatever the fuck his name is, Andrew Brad or whatever the fuck his name is in New York. You should be ashamed of yourself, my brother. You should be ashamed of yourself for putting this brother through that bullshit. Listen, if she had scars, he had scars. Why you ain't charged that bitch? Because we seen the photos. How is it that she can claim that she got beat up and she got scars on, right? Let's just be fair here. She got scars. He showed scars of what she fucking did to him. Why she ain't charged too? I'm gonna tell you, and he gonna admit this too. I'm gonna tell you where he fucked up at, or why I believe that he probably got convicted off of this one thing that he did and he shouldn't have did. Because all the evidence was on his side other than this one thing. But let's move on.
How is that possible?
After the verdict, in a statement, Jabari's attorney wrote in part, "Justice was finally served today, proving that the truth can prevail even in the face of power. Grace did not choose to be in this situation. Grace has been publicly attacked as a result of her courage to testify to the truth, but her unwavering..."
Because you know why? Because she's a fucking liar. Everybody seen this shit other than the prosecution that tried to make a statement, do this dude dirty like that for whatever political fucked up reason you got. You don't do that shit. This is why I said earlier. It's a lot of people out here, like the nerve of people like pretending that they're good people when you know you're doing wrong. And then you try to sit there and cover up lies in your misbehavior with more lies. You railroaded this dude for whatever personal reason, the attorney general or whatever the fuck he did. This brother, I don't know why he did it. I don't really give a fuck why he did it, but I know it's wrong. I know he did this dude dirty. I know he did Jonathan Majors dirty. I know that shit. Then talking about, oh, in the public, people was criticized because we knew she was lying. That's why. You the only motherfucker believe this bitch. And I guess the jury, well, they have believed her. Because they only convicted him of half of the charges. And that jury should be ashamed of their fucking selves. That bitch no victim. She was, listen, at the end of the day, they both was in a toxic relationship. What happens in a toxic relationship? Stupid shit happens. That's why you don't be with somebody that you argue with all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with arguing. It's actually healthy for a relationship. Because if motherfuckers walking around and not saying how they feel about certain shit or about each other sometimes or their behavior, then you gonna get one of them Chris Benoit incidents where a nigga just go in and kill everybody in the family, or the wife go off and kill the kids, drown the kids in water or some shit. So arguing is somewhat healthy. You don't need to argue all the time. Because if you're arguing all the time, then that means that you're in a toxic relationship. And you need to get the fuck out of there. I don't give a fuck you a man or a woman. If this nigga arguing with you all the time, you need to get the fuck out of there. Because it ain't going to go, it's not going to get no better. Especially if you did the counseling and if the motherfucker don't want to go to counseling, oh no. Fuck out of there. You got to roll out. Listen, I tell anybody, man or female, if any person that you with and y'all got problems, and the first thing you say, look, we ain't getting nowhere. We need a third party. Let's go see a counselor. And that motherfucker, he may say no the first time. The second, third, fourth, 5 times, get the fuck up out of there. That shit ain't gonna go well. Who stops? Who don't want to make their relationship better? If y'all angry and mad at each other all the time, who don't want to get their relationship healthy? So you can live in peace and harmony. If you claim you love this person, people fall out of love because of the simple fact, a lot of the times, because they arguing about petty shit. And sometimes not accepting the person for who they are. Because a lot of times when you get deep in the relationship, you're not shocked about all their behaviors. You just found it out that this person's like this. No, you kind of know. You know in that first year or two. You know how this person kind of really is. Now, some people can hide deep, dark secrets and shit like that, but that's anybody. Because when somebody don't want you to know, you won't know. Some people die with their secrets. So, everybody got secrets. My thing is always are you willing to tell your partner your deep dark secrets? I tell motherfuckers no unless you know this person is your soulmate. And that person gotta tell me a deep dark secret. I know a deep dark secret about my wife, she know one about me, we good. Just that's what it is. So we good, we even.
Wavering resolve to see this case through to the end was born out of her desire to give other survivors similar courage when justice requires. The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that to your relationship?
I loved Grace.
And let me just say this, it's highly ridiculous for somebody to say that when they ain't been there all the time in that whole relationship. Sometimes a relationship leads to toxic shit and violence, like, you know what I mean? But it don't start off like that a lot of the times. So for them to say their relationship was always that way, bullshit. They had good times because they wouldn't have been together that long. It's like you in an abusive relationship. It's going to be some good times, but that abusive shit, you probably had a lot of good times, but motherfucker get abusive and shit like that, that diminished all the good shit, believe it or not. But they not saying that. They just basically saying, hey, their whole relationship was doomed and it was violent from the beginning. How the fuck you know? Because my understanding, this woman never said that. She just said lately they haven't been seeing eye to eye and shit like that, and she lied and talked about he abused her and shit like that. But that, you know, we all know that's full of shit. But let's move on.
Our relationship was, it was not healthy, you know, and that began to reveal itself over time, but there was no abuse.
In court, Jabari claimed
you see what he said? He said it wasn't healthy, but he said it started to perceive that way after time. He started to realize, he started to see it like, this shit ain't kind of what I thought we was, you know, when we first got together. Now I'm starting to see the real you. He, like I told you, in that first 1 or 2 years, you with somebody, you know them at the while. They only was dating for 2 years. They was only dating 2 years. So I told you, after like a year or two, you kind of know what this person, who this person is. He started to realize that shit probably around the second year. Because a lot of times too, people, you can ignore signs because you are in love with somebody. You love them. So you ignore a lot of the red flags. But you know this shit ain't, a part of you know, I shouldn't be with this person, but I love them. Now, that's why I never get mad at women that stay in abusive relationships. I don't victim blame like that, because when you fucking, you will ignore red flags because you so deeply in love with somebody. Love is a strong thing. It makes you do stupid things. It makes you do good things. But a lot of times people do bad things for love. They stay in situations too long, or they accept shit that they shouldn't accept because they love. But I don't, listen, nobody, I think this is a part of what's going on in the world, and especially in this country. People are starting to fall out of love with love. Like, they don't believe in love no more. Like, don't ever let nobody take that away from you, of loving. Like, I come from a family that's very, like, show affection and love. It's a little too much for me. I like a balance with it, right? I don't like too much, right? And then I got a family that don't show, on one side of my family, don't show no love like that. And that shit bothers me. Like, give me a little something. You know what I mean? I like a balance. But you don't fuck with people because you looking for love either. I had to realize that myself. Like, nah, man. Listen, I love my family, but I can't fuck with y'all. If you're not giving me what I'm trying to give you, then that shit ain't gonna work. It's like my wife. Like, our shit wouldn't work if we don't give. We don't give and take with each other. That shit don't work. We wouldn't be together this long. Been together almost over 20-something years. Like, we've been together over 20-something years. Like, you have to give and take with a person. You can't always just take. You can't always just give. It's got to be a balance. That's all I'm saying, people. We gonna speak the truth today. Let's move on.
Jabari claims she sustained head injuries, but never said how she received them. Entered into evidence these partially redacted text.
Think about that. How is a motherfucker going to say she got head injuries, but she never explained how she got it? And let me just say this. The worst thing, other than putting a lot of your shit on social media, the next worst thing to do is to be texting. Listen, people can misconstrue texts. You can sound like you admitting to something through Texas. A lot of the times, believe it or not, because you about to hear the Texas and shit, and this is how the prosecution thought that he put his hands on her. This is part of the reason, right? All of these text messages. Listen to this shit.
Redacted text messages from September of 2022. Majors writes, "It's just fake. And I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." Jabari responds in part, "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you?"
This is literally a nightmare.
Let me tell you. That's that white woman code. She was talking, she was throwing subliminals out there just in case some shit like this happens. This nigga wasn't abusing her, right? And then his dumb ass, he's sitting there, he's almost kind of agreeing with her that something did happen, right? But then he's saying, no, it's fake in the beginning, but then he started saying shit that make it seem like something did happen. No, nigga, let her go to the hospital. See, listen. Shout out to my brother LT in the building, man. He said we got to do a show on Cat Williams. And I'm going to do that. But I need people to recognize something, right? You know what I realized in the last 10 years, right? Because that's when my growth, that's when I started to grow and mature, right? People say, "Ken, that's kind of late. You know, you 42. Hey, man, everybody matured differently. And I told you, men, brains don't fully start developing until they say 25, but it's really 30, right? So how about 32? Listen, I started to realize that when you truthful about shit and you honest about things that you say and talk about, you notice how some people be like they shun it. They almost like, you ain't got to be like telling everything. Like, nigga, if I can't be honest, I'm not being honest with myself. I don't think a lot of people understand that. So when people be sitting out there and be like, oh, you know, it's good it's almost like it's good. They feel like it's good to live in a fantasy land, right? Like it's in a fantasy world, like, you know, where like this lion, like if you read like everybody know Santa Claus is a fake character, but motherfuckers like act like this shit real, right? But real people understand that it's just a holiday. You know, it's about joy and shit like that. It's about bringing characters. It's like when you look at a movie, that is not it's not based in facts. It's just a fictional, movie. You enjoy it, right? It's a possibility that these things can happen, right? But it's not real though. But we'd rather sit here and live in fantasy land. Live in make-believe movies and shit instead of accepting the truth about shit. This is what society is doing now. A lot of people just living in fantasy lands. Just the life seem more. How can I put it? The lie to people seems more acceptable. It feels comforting to people to just to live a lie instead of living their own truth or living truth, period. So when you dealing with people that live like that, they fuck up real people. Because their lies can affect people. Lies can hurt people. Lies can lead you to death. And people don't really realize that shit. Everybody walking around, a lot of people walking around a lot of times just living in La La Land. Like, nigga, what you living ain't real. You living fake. You living a fake life. You enjoying being fake. Nigga, if I want to live in a fantasy land, nigga, listen, I'll go play a video game or something. Come on, man. And yeah, people, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna do a game. I'm creating very soon. Probably in next couple of months, I'm gonna create a game channel where motherfuckers will play video games and shit. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been playing video games since I started doing this shit. No lie to y'all. I stopped playing it. Cause like I said, that shit is fantasy. Fantasy life. This shit I be doing, we talking, this shit real life. This shit ain't no bogus shit. And people just don't be understanding that. Like we gotta stop living in this fantasy land all the time. It's okay to get away from real life sometimes, but life is life. It's real out here. And for us to be out here faking it and pretending like this shit don't exist or this ain't never exist, it's weird to me. Like we live in some weird ass times right now where people just okay with living a lie. Let's move on, man.
Nightmare. I don't know what happened. I don't know what injuries you're talking about.
The July incident, 2022, where she says you started throwing things, including a candle. Tell us what happened there.
We were in an argument. I was on the other side of the room.
Let me say this about him. There's going to be people that look at this and say he way too calm of how he talking about this, right? We don't know behind the scenes of how this brother might be. Parts of this shit he get emotional about. But, behind the scenes, this shit probably destroying him. Mentally, it's probably fucking with him. Salute to Megan Good for being there for that brother. She really helping this dude too. Mentally. Fuck the financial shit. That shit comes and goes. You ain't always gonna be on top. You ain't gonna always make the same type of money in life. That's just life. Unless you just one of those people that God blessed to do that. But that doesn't mean that they're good people either. A lot of people with the most money in the world is horrible people. It's about this shit. You notice they always shun the people that got their mental on right. The people that speak the truth, they the worst human beings because they being real. You notice the real is the fake now? And the fake is real? You ever noticed that? Trying to tell y'all, man, we live in some weird times right now. That's why I said the bitch niggas are winning. The real niggas losing. I don't know. Listen, and the crazy part about it is that I understand why it's happening. Because a lot of people are miserable. The average Joe motherfucker you see is miserable because they don't accept their situation, or they're trying to reach some shit that it wasn't planned for them. Like you see a motherfucker with something, you be like, damn, I want that, man. Damn, man. But I know I can't afford it. And so you get bitter at the while. Instead of accepting what you have and appreciating what you do have. There's nothing wrong with striving to get something better, but you don't get to tear other people down while you're doing it. You don't get to be a horrible person while you striving to be great or try to achieve something. I think that's what a lot of people is missing right now. But let's get back into it.
The side of the room, away from her, as I think she testified, and by my bedside table, I did a sweep, and I knocked over my candles. I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. What she also said.
Let me just explain something. You know how hypocritical people are? Because he's talking about a situation he had, and all he did was just swipe some shit, knock some shit over, throw some shit. I done broke some walls and put a dent in the door. I done did some shit. So that's the only way I felt like I can control myself and not doing nothing stupid, right? Now you got these hypersensitive ass feminist women out here talking about that's unacceptable. Who the fuck are you? And let me just explain something to you. It is plenty of people that go to, I forgot what they call that shit, but they go to these places where they get to go and have a bat and just destroy shit in the room. What the fuck is the difference to me? I don't see no difference. You trying to get out your aggression. You trying to you're trying to get out some whatever fucking bothering you. And like a lot of times we human, when we are in these type of situations with our spouse, we do shit like that. We knock shit over, we throw shit. It happens. That's normal reaction sometimes when you're so angry and you know it's wrong to put your hands on the person that you're mad about. You're mad at. You throw some shit. You knock some shit over. It happens. That's human nature. Listen, please don't let these feminist people sit out here, these stupid people sit out here and act like that's not a real emotion. It's a real emotion. See, they don't like aggressive emotion, but they want men to be like bitches. Sucker for love ass niggas. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Listen, I'm very sensitive to women's plight and what women go through and shit like that. I'm very overprotective of women in my own way. But to try to tear down my masculinity to make you feel more empowered, that's not happening. I'm not doing that. I don't give a fuck what a feminist say or what anybody say. That ain't happening. Fuck out of here. I'm supposed to diminish my masculinity to make you feel more empowered? First of all, as a person, you should empower your goddamn self. That's number one. You your star player. If nobody believes in you, if you don't believe in yourself, who gonna believe in you? If you don't think you strong, why would anybody else think you strong? Fuck out of here, man. Self-responsibility, people don't really get that either. I tell a lot of times people need to take self-responsibility of how people treat you or interact with you. Sometimes it's just what people see. It's what you present. It's how you carry yourself. What you allow people to say and do to you or around you. A lot of that shit is on you. But let's move on.
He also said, is that afterwards I wept and cried in the corner and said I'm sorry and this. And I was. And I am.
The prosecution said you allegedly wrote, "I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion." Were you suicidal?
I've been diagnosed with severe depression, and I'm taking the the steps needed to
Listen, my brother. This is what you don't do. Do not sit there and explain. Listen, I've been there. I thought about suicide and shit like that. I had a hard life. I get it. Listen, what I've learned from getting help and shit like that to deal with a lot of my emotions and pain and shit that I've been through in my life, and even just in the present, I still get help. Listen, I'm not sitting there telling people, well, I thought suicide because I was depressed. Listen, sometimes that's automatic. A lot of times when people thinking about committing suicide is because you already depressed. You don't feel like it's nothing there. You don't see no out. It seems like you can't do shit right. So you already depressed. You ain't got to tell people that shit. If anybody tell you they thought about suicide, you ain't got to ask them if they was depressed. That's the no one thing. I've been there. Thought about suicide a couple of times, bro. Listen, that's the most. It could be the most darkest time ever in your life. Me almost getting killed and shit like that wasn't, almost dying and shit from in the streets and shit wasn't like scary for me. But when I thought about taking my own life, it's like afterwards, like after you kind of come back round to reality a little bit, right? Because you're still in reality. You starting to give up, right? When you come down off of that high like that, right? And it's not a high, but you come down off of that darkness, right? You almost like, what the fuck was I? Damn it, I'm tripping. But you're still broken though. But listen, that ain't no shit that I like. Everybody get depressed, but some people get depressed more. Like it's to the extremes, because some people's life is a little harder. Some people probably listen, a lot of people that have real fucked up childhoods a lot of the times, or was not really happy in their life, right? Especially in their childhood a lot of times. A lot of us grow up to be a little depressed, like severely depressed. My understanding about the brother, he had a real tough childhood. But see, when black people say this shit, you have some black people try to shame it, right? Grow some balls. Everybody got it tough. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You depressed and you don't even know it. That's what I tell other black people that try to shun other black people for speaking out about this type of shit, right? Then you got some white folks that don't give a fuck about that shit because they like, that's no excuse for why you did bad shit. Partly, yeah, it is. Partly, that's why people turn out to be kind of who they are a little bit, right? Like people always, like, we can all sit here and say, oh, well, R. Kelly is a monster. Well, why? This nigga ain't all of a sudden come out the womb to be a monster. This nigga wasn't a monster at 5 or 10. It's a reason why he wound up being who he is. I'm not saying that he was right for what he did, right? But I'm saying, don't sit here and act like this man didn't get molested when he was a kid by his own sister. Him and his brother got molested by their older sister. Where you think he learned the behavior of fucking around with young women? He had to learn that. And then nothing happened to his sister either. So in his mind, he ain't think nothing wrong with that shit. Even though everybody else saying something wrong with it, but he looking at what his sister did to him and his brother. She ain't get caught. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. They say it's wrong, but ain't nobody do nothing to her. And we all know that people that are broken like that don't think clearly. They don't. They don't understand you've got a choice. You got two choices. You can become what happened to you. You can become that. Or you can use that shit as to help people and use it in a positive way. You have a choice, but some people go down that dark alley where they can't come from. The pain is just too much. It happens. I'm not making excuses for R. Kelly. I'm just saying, like, this man ain't all of a sudden turned into this so-called monster that everybody say he is. It's a reason why he became who he was. And believe it or not, the people around him helped that. Nobody want to blame the people that was around him that was allowing him to do that fuck shit. It was artists out there that kept still doing shit with him. Us as fans, like, we know this nigga. Come on, man. We letting this nigga. We all at fault. Whatever happened to R. Kelly and when he became that monster, we are all a part of it. I'm just saying. Let's move on.
Alleviate, some of those symptoms, ideations of removing myself from situations permanently is a thought that I've had, since I was a kid.
It all came to a head in March of last year when Jabari and Majors got into a fight, much of it captured on surveillance video and used as evidence in the trial. Jabari testified that it all began when Majors received a text from another woman. He says it read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." So let's go back to March 25th for a moment.
So listen, let me just say this. So think about this. She got upset, grabbed his phone because she seen something in his text about another woman. And he wanted to get his phone back. Well, he tried to get his phone back. So, in a scuffle of that, some bruises happened. That's normal shit. First of all, she took his property. That wasn't her property. Like, nobody really thinking about shit like this. It was his property. I don't give a fuck if he had that in there or not. She took something from him. Anyway. So, that happened. Now, my understanding of what happened after that was she lied and talking about he beat her up and all that other shit in the car. That's bullshit because the driver, he wanted to talk about it. He said that shit ain't never happened. But anyway. He tried to get out the car. She gets out the car with him to continue to attack them because she's emotionally hurt, right? Because of what she's seen on the text. So she steady trying to aggressively attack him. If she was trying to get physically with him to hurt him, or she was trying to get that phone. Either way, she was the aggressor. And all he did was try to throw her in, put her back in the car, right? So that's maybe how she may have got some of them scars, right? And that's where he fucked up at. That's where he fucked up at. And that's why I believe he got convicted. Because if he would have never grabbed her and tried to put her in the car, all them charges would have got dismissed. I'm just trying to tell you. And listen, when people are toxic, right? Like this woman, she's a very toxic individual. She was intentionally trying to seek attention from him that he was not giving her because he started to see who she truly was. And she, now at this point, now she knows that he's cheating on her. So when the police come into his apartment and shit and find her laying on the ground, she was hurting herself. She was doing that shit to make a scene. She was trying to get him back for the shit that she found out that he was cheating on her. You think a woman ain't capable of doing that? Is that victim blaming? To all the fake ass feminist women out there, you can kiss my ass. Because I don't believe in your movement. Your movement went way too far at this point. You don't think she's capable of doing that? You're just going to believe her side because she's a woman. She has scars. Well, so did he. Well, she could have been fighting back. So could he. That's how that goes. You don't get a pass because you're a fucking woman. If you want to be treated equally, that's equally. I'm criticizing it equally. That's where he fucked up at. He should have never grabbed her to try to put her in that car. But she was always the aggressor. She chased this nigga for blocks. Fuck out of here. He understood this. After a while, he understood that situation. That's why he ran. He's like, this bitch, get ready for it. Because, listen, y'all gonna hear some other shit. It'll prepare you for why. It'll explain to you why he ran. He started to figure out this bitch was toxic. Red flags was going up after 2 years, right? And I think she recorded it while they was talking, and he's explaining to her about how this shit looks of us acting this way. He was getting it already. He understood. But he was so in love with her that he shouldn't even had to go that far with her, seeing how she was doing and acting. You should have been got the fuck away from her. And listen, and let me just say this to all the celebrities. I don't give a fuck what color skin you are. If you are up and coming and getting rich, there's no reason for you to be in a serious relationship. It's impossible for you to. Because so much pussy getting thrown at you, so many women may be understanding your plight or what you may be going through, and the person that you with may not understand that because maybe they don't want to, or they want to be seen, or they feel left out because you spending too much time on your craft. Like, people get jealous. Your spouse will get jealous of you because seeing all the fame that you're getting. And she was an up-and-coming dancer, you might as well say. And she ain't got no fame. Nobody knew who the fuck she was. Maybe she was jealous. So she was, and she seen an ignorant nigga that she done bamboozled to fall in love with her. And she used that shit to her advantage. The problem with that is, she did all this shit, and we only notice you for being a fucking liar about being abused. So it ain't work out for her at the end of the day. Yeah, you fucked his career up. But bitch, you lost too. Ain't nobody sitting there. Only stupid people sit there and agree with this woman like something really happened to her. Now, I told you we dealing with people that tell the truth, and we dealing with liars. I'd rather be on the side of truth than to be a fucking liar. Let's move on.
For a moment, you and then girlfriend Grace Jabari are in the backseat of a chauffeured car. She sees a text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there. Yeah. What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. Again, I said at the beginning, I did that. I copped to it. I show her.
No, you did that. You started fucking with other women because you knew this bitch was toxic and you felt this shit wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, you take responsibility for cheating. I think anybody with common fucking decency would. If you in a relationship, instead of you being real and cutting that shit off with the person that you with, because it's not working. But it's hard sometimes because you're still in love with the person. But there's no excuse for cheating on your spouse or whoever you with. There's no excuse for that. You can make all the excuses in the world and make all the sense in the world, but it still doesn't help the situation. And you're still wrong. So yeah, it's on you. But part of the reason you did that is because you knew he was trying to find an out. He knew this shit was toxic at this point. He knew this shit was not working out like he thought with this woman. And he was trying to find an out. So what stupid niggas do sometimes? Stupid men do. We go and start cheating and, doing stupid shit. I always tell you, even the woman that's fucking with you, that's being a side chick, she ain't no good for you either. Because if she know you in a relationship doing that to another woman, why would she want to fuck with you? So she got to be getting something out of it. Or she doesn't feel that good about her damn self. Always remember that. And that goes for men too. I mean, go for women too. If a woman cheats with another dude, that dude ain't that comfortable who he is. He got to go fuck with another woman to make himself feel like I'm the man. But so you ain't a man without fucking with somebody else's woman and knowing about it, nigga? Goofies. Let's just be real. But listen, people, we all human beings. We all do fuck shit like this. We all have done it. But I'm just saying, you learn from those type of mistakes. You learn from those situations, even if you did it or not. But you learn from it. So you don't keep making that same mistake over and over again and thinking you're going to get better results out of it. You're not. If you constantly keep doing that same shit over and over again, you go fuck with a married woman. How you got to think about how bad you got to feel about yourself to accept that. I know to men sometimes it's just sex is sex, but not really. You fucking with somebody that's with somebody. I always try to put myself in that man's, like, if I'm cheating, say I got in a situation like that, and before I even do some shit, like, I think about, like, what if that was me? Listen, you go fix what the fuck going on at your house, and then maybe come holler at me after it's over. But I don't want to fuck with you while you fucking with this dude, because it may not go the way you think it's gonna go. I've been in a situation where I fuck with a chick, and she was with a dude, right? And I'm getting what I get out of it, but now I'm ignorant and stupid thinking I'm gonna get some more out of it, and then she's telling me, we gonna be together. And then come find out, nigga, her man work it out. Now you back looking like a stalker or looking stupid and dumb. Now you done fell for a married woman. Not a married woman, but a married woman or another woman that was already taken. Now you sitting there, now you the dumb one. It happens. All that shit don't always work out like everybody think. Well, he got the girl. Nigga, you got a hoe. Because if you don't think that, if you just fuck with that chick and she was with a man or married and you got her at the end, right? You don't think whenever some shit, whatever her situation was with that man, y'all gonna have a situation too where she's gonna be unhappy too. And her response to that is not to work it out. Her response is to go out and cheat. You think she ain't gonna do that to you? Or you think, for women, you think that man ain't gonna do that to you? This is one thing I learned, right? I've been married over 10 years, right? But I've been with my wife over 20 some years. So I always not always, but this was always sticks with me. This is what I learned. I had to work extra hard when I was a single dude to get women. When I got married and got in a real relationship with my wife, I started to see all the pussy get thrown at me. And you know why that is? It's because that woman is seeing something that your wife doesn't have. She see a good nigga. She want that. But how is good that nigga gonna be if he go and cheats on his wife to be with you? How good is he really? And it's vice versa. How good is that woman is? Y'all gotta make some of this shit make sense. None of that shit makes any sense at the end of the day. It seemed cool. It's fun to do that shit and feel the man or feel like a woman or whatever, how the fuck niggas feel cheating on people. But at the end of the day, whatever that situation was for that other person, you're going to receive it too. Because I believe in karma. Karma's a bitch. Now, it's very, 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 very rare that shit actually works. Like, the person that did that shit stay with that person. Very, very rare. But 99% of the times, that shit don't work. Just telling y'all that.
Right. It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone. I pull the phone back. I receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. As the video shows, you know, everything calms. We get out.
But that's where he fucked up at. By trying to put her in the car. So now, these juries' imagination can go to maybe he did, That's why if you read his charges, he didn't. They charged him with not intentionally hurting her, but he did. And that's all because, no lie to you, that's all because he picked her up to put her back in the car. To put her in the car. Yeah, to put her back in the car so she can stop attacking him or whatever, to get away. He didn't want to make a scene. He was so worried about the cameras and worried about how this shit gonna look. He knows cameras everywhere. So he like, bitch, if you don't get... Just imagine you with your woman, like, bitch, if you don't get in the motherfucking car here making a scene, get the fuck in the car. What are you doing? That's what he was doing. He understood what was going on. But he fucked up because he put his hands on her by putting her in the car. And that, no lie to you, it's very possible that that was where she got her injuries. Honestly. So, partly, they actually really did convict him of the right charges, believe it or not. I still would have, like, if that was me, that's why I can't be a juror, because I think too rational, right? Like, I think with common sense. The law shit is irrelevant to me sometimes. Like, that shit, a lot of the law don't even make any sense. It makes sense to a certain extent, but you gotta, at the same time, doing shit like that, you have to include people being human beings. So that's why I could never be a juror. I couldn't be a lawyer or none of that shit like that, or a judge or a police officer. I couldn't be none of that. Who am I to judge people, man? You don't really know. Everybody is not the same. And just because everybody should abide by the same rules doesn't mean that everybody can. Right? I tell people this all the time. I don't abide by all the rules. I move at my own beat of my own drum. I don't do what everybody do. I don't move like everybody move. It's not in my nature to do that. I was built different. Listen, at this point in my life, I know God put me here for a different reason. I'm special in a way. I get that. I accept that. I'm proud of it, actually. But I get why they did it. Like, I'm not ignorant to the law or understand what happened. But reality, like, real shit, like, he throw all that shit out. If he didn't intentionally do it, she was the aggressive. It wouldn't have happened if she wouldn't have got aggressive with him. Think about it. It's like somebody hitting you and then you hit them and knock their ass out and they hit the ground and die. And they still charge you with it. Like, it wouldn't have happened if the person would have put their hands on me. Yeah, did I mean to punch them to kill him? No. But it wouldn't have happened if they wouldn't have put their fucking hands on me. That's exactly what happened to this brother. Nobody died, but you get what I'm saying, right? Come on, man. Let's take a quick commercial break, man. This shit, like, I didn't want to get angered by this shit, but it's frustrating. I don't even think I'm angry. I'm frustrated because I just don't understand why people don't see what I'm seeing. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's not hard to see this shit. But let's go to a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for a quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel. People need more information to subscribe to the channels and donate. It's down there strolling below, people. Let's get it back into it.
We get out, we walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me. She goes for the phone. I release. I get free of her and I run.
For blocks?
Yeah, for blocks.
Surveillance video also shows Jabari talking to three strangers.
And think about that. She's still aggressive. She's still aggressive. And she's still trying to reach to get his phone. She admitted this shit in court. But somehow the jury just ignored all that shit. She's still the aggressor. I'm going to say this again to women. Listen, you can call it victim blame all you want. I don't give a fuck. I ain't Stephen A, so I don't give a fuck. Listen. You cannot be shocked of reactions or shit that happened to you if you the aggressor. It's like me going out here and I get aggressive with another dude and then he knocked my ass out or beat the shit out of me, I'm shocked and appalled that he beat the dog shit out of me. You know what? I shouldn't have been aggressive with him. What universe are we living in? Well, that don't make common sense to people. This woman was out of control, angry, all emotional because she didn't like something that she seen in this man's text of him cheating on her. And then she gets some scars from him trying to get his phone back, which normal people would do. That's normal reaction. If my wife took my phone, what's wrong with you? Give my phone back. What's wrong with you? You trying to get your phone away. And if you cheating, we gonna be real. Oh, damn, boy, man. Ooh. We might get very aggressive, not like trying to hurt nobody, but we might get physical, trying to like get that motherfucking phone away so they won't see everything that we was doing. You feel me? But you know, we don't live in reality. We live in la la land in America. Stupid people. We got a lot of stupid people. People that want to lie for a living, want to keep a fantasy going, acting like these things don't exist anymore. Just saying, or rewrite history. Either way, it's a lie. Let's move on. And this is how you know she played victim. She just started walking up to people, or people. I ain't gonna say she walked up to people. People probably walked up there, probably seen what was going on, and this big black man running from her or whatever, and she's sitting there telling me, he hit me. I guarantee you. Well, she might have said, I was getting into it with my boyfriend, and all this other shit, everybody. Listen, if you see a woman in distress like that, you are automatically, I know as a man, I'm automatically going to be like, what's going on? You all right? Man, what's going on with you and yo? He was such. I say, well, you may need to call somebody. Like, you get what I mean? I'm not going to try to judge him or her. I don't know what happened. I'm just catching the shit. But people are quick to jump in the shit, and they're like I told you, we live in a time where people don't mind their fucking business either. Some shit you need to mind your business on, or not overdo it. Like, you know what I mean? Make that situation even worse by getting too involved. You should be trying to de-escalate the situation, not evolve it. And people are so quick to jump into shit and be a part of something because they miserable in their own fucking life. I never seen a bunch of people in this country that's so miserable in their life that they want to create chaos to make themselves feel better, to feel appreciated, feel like they're a part of something. And listen, it may be me. I've been through a lot of fucking tragic and drama type shit at a young age. So for me, as an older dude, I don't kind of really like the drama. I've been through it. I've been through enough. Kind of don't really care to see it and give a fuck about it. Like, don't really want to be around it. But when people are miserable in their life, they create situations or escalate situations to where it shouldn't even get to that place like that. But anyway, let's move on. I ain't forget about y'all in the chat. I'm going to shout y'all out.
She testified they offered to get her home. One of the bystanders can be seen speaking to Majors, who gestures for Jabari to get back into the car. He eventually leaves without her and goes to a hotel for the night. Jabari leaves with the bystanders. She says inside the car, you hit her in the face.
That she lying. But let me just say something. Understand how... Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. As a man, right? It is so embarrassing if I'm arguing with my wife in public. It's embarrassing, bro. I don't know how other people feel. I don't know if people like drama, and I guess that's, they thing. But arguing with my wife in public is the most weirdest shit ever to me. It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Regardless if it ain't physical, it's just, it's just weird. It's almost like you trying to make a scene so people can agree with whatever your point of view is. You know what I mean? To come and back you up for all whatever, because you might be arguing about something stupid. It's just embarrassing. So I could just imagine how he felt. He was just embarrassed by that shit. That's why I'm trying to get your ass in the car. What is wrong with you? Like, well, he know what's wrong with her, but you could really fuck up some shit for me. You ain't, listen, and in his mind, see, that's why I tell brothers, why are you dating down to some of these white women? You date up. If you're going to get you a white woman, hey. Okay? But nigga, he knew. This bitch, she ain't me. I'm Jonathan Majors. Nigga, I'm in Marble. Nigga, I'm an up-and-coming superstar. I'm the next big thing. This bitch get ready to try to fuck all this up. He gonna say it too. You gonna hear him. My brothers, you gonna date outside your race to get the white woman or whoever, what race it is, date up. Or date somebody equal to you at least. Don't be dating down, nigga. Have some motherfucking self-respect for yourself, nigga. As a black man. Fuck out of here. Hey, listen. Love my wife, man. You know, I ain't trying to say I want a woman. But if I had a choice to date a white woman and be with a white woman, see who I'd take. Trying to figure who I'd take. I don't know. But you know what? This is crazy. I gotta really think on that. Cause I don't think outside of my race like that when it comes to like dating and being with white women and shit. That's not my thing. I like white porn stars though. I tell you that shit. But outside of my race like that, maybe if I was going to date outside, maybe Julia Robinson or some shit. You know what I mean? The one that played in Pretty Woman and shit. Like maybe her. But wouldn't date down. If I'm in that type of predicament that he's in. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not, me Julia Robinson or something. I'm trying to get Julia Robinson. I think she married though, but give me Julia Robinson, that ilk. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I know even I date a black woman, you don't date down, you date up. Okay, you a black woman, superstar, nigga. Okay, you date up, nigga. Real talk. I gotta think about that, man. If I was in that predicament, black or white, what woman I would date? You know what I mean? Cause I like older women, so I young women cool. They like I think fucking that's cool, but dating and being in a relationship with can't fuck with no younger woman. But I like older women, so I probably had to think older women. You know what I mean? So this is what it is, and still attractive too. So I gotta think of that. I gotta think about that. But nigga, my brothers, don't be dating down. I don't give a fuck if you ain't on his level or not. Don't date down. Nigga, you come from the hood, you made a little bit. Don't date down and get trailer park trash. Fuck out of here. If you gonna date down and get some trailer park white shit, nigga, you might as well go get you a hood chick. Fuck out of here. I mean, I don't get it. But anyway, let's move on.
Hit her in the face,
Yeah.
twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
What happened?
She went to grab the phone. I held the phone. I pulled the phone back. She came on top of me, squeezed my face, slapped me. That's all I remember.
So she ends up with...
Listen, and let me just say this. That all makes sense. Because if you think about the situation, when she found out, listen, I've been in these situations before, so I know what he's saying is true, right? And it makes sense. If a woman sees that you she see that you got some shit in your phone, nigga, that might be a woman's first reaction is to smack the shit out you, and grab your phone too. That's a woman's first reaction. I've been in those situations before. So he ain't lying. And you can't make that up. That's truthful shit that happened. Listen, it's a very high percentage that women do that. Or have done it. I'm telling you. So that shit make plenty of sense. That's all I remember. Yeah. Because that's why all that happened. That shit she talk about is make-believe. Oh, you punched her and beat her up and all that other shit. I'm not saying that it's not possible that that could have happened. I'm saying her story doesn't add up. Big as he is, man, he could have beat the shit out of that girl. I done seen my own cousin punch a chick in my car, bust her whole shit open. He way bigger than my cousin. I think he what, 6'2", something like that. 250 pounds, solid. Big dude. And that little prissy ass white girl, he punched her and shit like that. He gonna leave a bruise on her face to get knocked the fuck out. He might have knocked her ass out. Come on, man. Y'all gotta think about this shit. Listen, and I know the people, women gonna be out there, you victim blaming. I ain't victim blaming shit. Look at the evidence. Look at what happened. Shit ain't victim blaming. Then she couldn't even, like, you look at her wounds. Listen, somebody punch you in the fucking face, especially a white woman. This big black man punches her in the face, and she ain't got no type of, unless he hit like a bitch. That's the only way. If he punched her, like, come on, man, stop. And mind you, the driver was there. He said that didn't happen. He never punched her. It was just an altercation. They were struggling over the phone. That's all the driver said. And they couldn't find this nigga for months. I wonder why.
She ends up with a 1-inch cut behind her ear.
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
Fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity.
First of all, my brother. Now, listen, he could be telling the truth and partly being naive, I would say. If you watch the video and you tell me all this shit happened in this truck, it's very possible that she fractured her finger and got that scar behind her ear because y'all was struggling, or you was trying to put her in the car, or y'all was struggling because you was trying to get your phone back, or she was or when she was trying to get the phone back from you. That's very possible that could have happened. That's why the jury was like, they don't think he intentionally did that. Because I don't think I think she did that shit because of some fact they were just struggling over the phone. Or it could have, like I said, or it could have possibly happened when which it was his mistake, put her in the car. She could have hurt herself like that. Listen, people, it's very rare that you get a scratch behind your ear. That's very rare to get. It's self-inflicted, you can do that, or you could be in a struggle. Right? It's very rare for you to get a scratch behind the back of your ear, bro. So it had to happen in the struggle, were they struggling with the phone, or when he was struggling with her to put her back in the car. That's the only way that can happen. Or, number 3, because people want to leave this out, she could have did it herself. You pick and choose the poison. But either way, he fucked up by even putting her in the car. That's the way he fucked up at. Because even in the car of the struggle over the phone, it's a he say, she say shit. But then, like I said, the driver blamed both of them. They said they both were struggling over the phone. So how can you charge him? without charging her. Come on, man. That's why it was so hard to find the driver. The prosecution sent that nigga away. And then when the defense finally found out where he was, that's the only reason the driver popped up, because of Jonathan Major's people. He probably had private eyes and shit. You get what I mean? How the fuck he just disappeared talking about he didn't want the publicity? Bullshit. First of all, nigga, if I'm in that situation like that and I see somebody's getting railroaded, I don't give a fuck. I'm about truth. I ain't scared of no motherfucking backlash. People scared to tell the truth now. That shit is weird, bro. Let's move on, man. The driver should be ashamed of himself for saying that bullshit. You see the injustice that was happening to this brother? And you know, I got a family. Well, nigga, you know what? Let me just explain something to you. I would rather be very respected by my family than to be a fucking sucker. Cause you was a sucker for disappearing like that because it's because of my family. You weren't protecting your family, nigga. You was just a scared sucker. Little people on social media, they threaten you. You scared. I wish a motherfucker. Listen, I get plenty of death threats. I wish a nigga would. And like I said, nigga, I don't fear nothing. I don't fear nobody. Listen, nigga, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But other than that, nigga, I don't walk around with no motherfucking fear or no motherfucking people on social media. That's like me sitting there being scared of racist people. Get the fuck out of here, man. Nigga, I'm built different. You know what I mean? I learned from the best, nigga. Malcolm X, nigga. By any means necessary. Nigga, I grew up in that ilk. I'm part of that ilk, nigga. I ain't scared of no motherfucking body. Fuck out of here, man. That bullshit, social media, you know, they're bashing. Man, fuck that shit. The truth will set you free, nigga. You think Martin and them gave a fuck about dying? Did they want to die? No. They understood that came with the risk, nigga. They had to speak the truth, niggas. Some of you motherfuckers are cowards, bro. This driver, coward. Social media. Nigga, Martin and them had Klan. The government after them. And you scared of social media. Yeah, all right, nigga. Y'all niggas, some of y'all niggas are weirdos, man. Let's move on, man.
Will give clarity. That will give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't
I have
cause
no
it.
question.
What's interesting about the jury's verdict, it's so nuanced because they're saying you didn't intend
Right.
to injure her.
Right.
But the result of your recklessness
Right.
injured her.
Right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart,
Not with her body.
not with her body.
But
Listen, my brother, I can see how the jury convicted him for them 2 charges. No lie to you, because I looked at the details, I see the story, I get it. He right about that. He was reckless with her heart. But she was the aggressor. I'm still trying to figure out why the New York, they didn't charge her. They supposed to charge her too. She was the one that was aggressive. Listen, I'm going to say this to the women out there. If you want to be treated equally, you get the same consequences as a man if you that aggressive. He wasn't aggressive. The only time he was aggressive was when he was trying to get something that she took from him. And when he was trying to get out of the car and she wanted to act the fool, he was like, no, get in the car. Come on now, stop this shit. But y'all, man, y'all ain't trying to be real out here, man. Y'all trying to be on this fake new shit, this new world, and this shit is weird. That's why you get like some old niggas like me be like, yo, I can't fuck with this shit. Me, myself, I can't fuck with a lot of this shit, but I understand it. But I don't fuck with it. That's why it's always good to be a fucking leader and kind of be who you are and be real instead of this fake motherfucker. Of course you adjust because you don't want to hurt people and stuff like that, but nigga, it's certain shit that you ain't gonna hurt me because you figure I'm hurting you in some weird ass way. That's weird shit. Let's move on.
But never hit a woman.
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman. Ever. When the actual testimony came, the driver said, she did everything, meaning Grace. He did nothing. Referring to myself.
Majors claims Jabari attacked him.
Right.
Ripping his...
I told y'all. The driver even said it. So the whole shit in the car is already established because the driver was the witness. He was the only person that was in that car. Other than them two. So he's watching this shit. I'm just trying to explain this to y'all so it can make sense. And then somehow the jury just ignore that. Then say, oh, well, he didn't intentionally do it. Well, she was the aggressor. You don't think that she gonna have some little cuts and bruises and she's the aggressor? Listen, let me just explain something to you. I ain't never been in a fight where I ain't left with a wound and I was the aggressor. I remember I beat the shit out of a nigga that didn't even fight back. I still left with wounds and scars. Shit, I got jumped by 30 niggas one time. Damn near 30, I say, right? Only thing I still left with a scar. I left with like a little green black eye around my eye. I ain't leave with broken bones or nothing, but I was still scarred in a way. Physically, like you could see it. It's very impossible that you don't leave with a scar in the altercation. Regardless if you're the aggressor or not the aggressor. Come on, man. He's still left with scars.
Ripping his coat, scratching his face and arm. These are photos, he says, are of his injuries, but were deemed inadmissible in court.
My injuries were...
How's that inadmissible? How's that inadmissible? And that's why I tell you the system, this is why I don't trust the justice system. That's why I move the way I move, bro. How's that admissible? It's a part of the case. You got to let the defense defend themselves. The prosecutor can bring all this shit in, but you can't bring in certain shit. This is a part of the case. She scarred him too. Actually, if the jury, if the judge would allow this in, you know what the prosecution's gonna say? He only got those wounds back because she was fighting back. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, that's how crooked the fucking system is. That's why I don't trust the system. I don't trust the system at all. I don't give a fuck if it's traffic court, nigga. I don't trust that shit. You can't trust none of that shit. Listen, same shit had to Jonathan Major happened to me. Not in far as the serious of his him being accused of shit, right? In his situation. But I had a judge do that to me. Told me, well, we gonna get rid of speeding, but you was reckless driving. How the fuck am I reckless driving without speeding. So what else was I doing if I wasn't speeding? How the fuck how you get a reckless charge, reckless driving charge without speeding? I mean, what was it that how was I reckless? Think about that. So what else was I doing? If I wasn't speeding, because speeding could lead to reckless driving, right? If I wasn't speeding, how was I being reckless of getting in the car accident? What was I doing? People, the judge couldn't tell me what it was. She gave it to me because she didn't like that what I was saying made sense. I made her like one thing about judges and police, if you ever notice that authority figures, so-called, right? They don't like to be questioned. And what they're talking about that don't make no fucking sense. Because they think in a bubble. They don't think outside of that shit sometimes. She could never tell me what my reckless driving was. She just kept saying, well, you got in an accident. An accident is an accident. You don't know how accident, like, tell me how you perceive that the accident happened. For me being, you still gonna charge me with reckless driving? I mean, you still gonna find me guilty of reckless driving? It's the same shit in his thing. How you gonna say all this shit didn't happen? He didn't mean to do it. But you charge him with that he didn't mean to do it. It doesn't make any sense. He didn't intentionally try to assault her, but he assaulted her. What? Well, if he didn't intentionally try to assault her and it's a confrontation of her being aggressive, then throw that shit out of court. It shouldn't even ever made it to court. The judge should have threw that shit out. None of this shit makes any sense. You go back and y'all debrief and y'all think about what I just said. And tell me I'm tripping. None of this shit makes any goddamn sense. What the fuck? He didn't intentionally do it. But you saying he did it though. Well, if he ain't intentionally do it, that means he still did it. So you got to charge him with the other two shit. Think about that. But they didn't charge him with the other two things. They're saying he intentionally did it. So he didn't intentionally do it? So that was the reason why. Listen, I'm telling y'all, the laws is fucked up. They're not confusing. It's just fucked up. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot, in situations like that, you cannot say, well, he didn't intentionally try to cause her wounds. But then you seen the evidence that showed you that she was the aggressor, so them wounds was going to happen because she was the aggressor. So how the fuck he did? Of course he didn't intentionally mean to do that because she was the aggressor. Think about it. And they still found this brother guilty of some bullshit ass misdemeanor charge. Talking about he can spend a year in jail. And listen, and people do not get this shit twisted. Do not think that same fucked up judge that allowed this shit to go to trial will not give him some months. Make him spend time in jail to treat him like a fucking slave. Because that's what a lot of them judges do. Disgusting. Scum of the earth. That shit shouldn't even got to trial. It's one thing the DA is corrupt and fucked up. It's another thing the judge, you sit, Man, that's ain't enough evidence, man. Nah, we can't do that. Throw that shit out. I'd have looked at that case and was, nah. Come on now. If I'm Jonathan Major, I would have been trying to appeal that shit soon that verdict came down. Honestly. Fuck you gonna charge me? I ain't intend to hurt her, but I did. Well, that mean I did then. And if I ain't attempt to try to cause her wounds and bodily harm, well, the reason it even happened because she was aggressive. And I was just trying to get back my property. So I ain't got a right to try to get back my property after she took something out of my fucking hand. What universe are we living in? Listen, I don't like the decisions that Jonathan Majors has made of fucking with white girls. But I ride with the brother. He got railroaded. And I tell the brother, only God can fix your past. Not Hollywood and not none of these stupid ass people that think that what happened to you was justified. The fuck out of here. None of that shit makes any sense. Oh, it's the law. Fuck the law. Listen, you have to have, listen, he wouldn't, if you saying, and I'm going to say this once again and I'm moving on. If the jury is saying he didn't intentionally try to hurt her, but she got those wounds. Well, why did she get the wounds? Why she get the scars? Who was the aggressor? She wouldn't have got him if she wouldn't have been aggressive with him. She wouldn't have took something that was his property. Why didn't I'd have been asking, why did the district attorney didn't charge her with theft? Strong arm, I think it's strong arm something, a crime. Why didn't charge her with that? They gonna be petty about this bullshit. That's what I've been thinking as a juror. Listen, you couldn't have me on the jury like this. You couldn't have me as a juror either. I'm too reasonable of a thinker, right? Listen, it'd have been a hung jury fucking with me. He wouldn't have had no charges. Charges would have got dropped fucking with me if I was on the jury. Just telling you that now. That's why motherfucker, Baltimore County, Baltimore City be sending me motherfucking come to jury duty. Nigga, the fuck I go to jury duty for? I'm the wrong dude. Like, you can't put me on the jury. I don't even like the law. I just try to educate myself in it so I can be aware of shit. But I don't like the law. I don't like police. I don't like the judge. I don't like the justice system. I can't stand them motherfuckers. The whole system corrupted me. Why would you put me on a jury? I'm the wrong Negro to put on a jury. Wrong. I don't even like how society is being ran now. Why the fuck would you put me on a jury? Listen, nigga, if they even try to push me to be on a jury, I tell them I'm racist. I don't like white people. I'm not saying I do. I tell them that. I don't like white people. Listen, nigga, I'll fuck a case up. Nigga, I'll fuck a whole trial up fucking with me. Don't put me on no jury, nigga. I don't participate in your motherfucking, your bullshit. You bamboozling the people with this bullshit, acting like it's fair. It's not fair. We all know that the system is not fair. So why the fuck would I want to be a part of that? Unless I'm somebody that really think that I can get in there and try to change some shit. And salute to those brothers and sisters and some white folks and other minorities. Salute to y'all. But I ain't that person. I'm not that guy. I don't fuck with the law. Ain't nothing about the law I like. I don't even like this country, nigga. So I don't even know why they even try to even attempt to even put me on the jury. Just watch one of these videos. You won't want me on your jury. You won't even want me serving. And I'm an upstanding citizen. But I'm too biased. I'm really not, but I'm just saying. You don't want me on no jury. I'm just telling you that. Fuck a whole trial up, man.
I had a scratch on my hand, from clawing for the phone. And I had a gash on at the time I had a beard. Under my beard I had essentially a fingernail scratch on my cheek from pressure,
You chose not to take the witness stand.
The one thing I noticed about the brother, he's very nervous about talking about this shit. And I don't think it's nervous of like he feel like he's being like he's guilty or something. He's just nervous because this shit is uncomfortable for him. And you gotta understand, this man ain't never been in this type of situation before. He got a good PR team, whatever. But he ain't never been in that situation in this type of situation before. He's nervous, bro. Like I can see the nervousness in him. Like it's fucked up that we got they put our brother in this situation. It should have been way more black people behind him and rally for. We should have been out that bitch protesting for shit like this. Honestly. You see them January 6th motherfuckers, they go out there and they protest. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if we go out there, they sick the police on it. That's why people don't protest no more, if you believe it or not. They took the freedom, the right to protest away. Freedom of speech away if you black, if you fight for a good cause. But if you're a racist, they give you permits and all that shit. When you think about a protest, nigga, you don't need no motherfucking permit. Only white people do that shit to cover their racism. If you really stand for what the fuck you stand for, nigga, just come out there and be racist. Don't get no permits, bitch. Let's move on, man. Shit angers me.
The witness stand. Why?
Yes, ma'am. The driver.
You thought that was compelling enough. He had said enough.
Well, not just the driver. She was doing everything, he was doing nothing. Well, that's what I was going to say. Mr. Majors, did you see any injuries on her? No, I didn't. Clinical experts, the detective I spoke to, all who testified before I did. But after all of that, what was I going to add?
Jonathan, how do you feel
During the trial, an audio recording.
He was basically saying, why would he get on the stand? Because everybody that got put on the stand basically agreed with his side of the story. The prosecution really didn't have shit but her. And she admitted, even with head wounds and all that shit, she wouldn't tell how she got the head wounds. Or she got hurt. Listen, I was a juror. I'd have been already made my mind up about this shit. Listen, as a black man, I'd have seen him coming in, and it's a white girl, and then he come in there with Megan Good. Oh shit, nigga, I already know what this about. That nigga came to his senses. Shout out to him. And nigga, you stay that way. You stay with your sister. Stay with your people. Don't be going over there fucking with them white folks. Especially dating them white women. That's not a good look. Believe it or not. People gonna say, Kenny, you being a little bigoted. No, I'm not. I'm being honest. It don't look good for black men when they over there fucking with them white women. I'm just telling you, it looked weird to me. So just imagine, right? If it looked weird to me as a black man, how the fuck you think the white men look at that shit? They mad about it. I ain't mad about it. It just look weird. Every time, listen, no disrespect to interracial dating. Do you, boo-boo? Okay? But to me, that shit look weird. I do not like to see. Jack, sit your ass down. Sit down. Boy, I wish I had my taste. I'd light his ass up. That nigga always do that shit, oh goofy ass. Nigga calm the whole time. Then he hear my wife and them coming, he want to jump around and shit. Nigga, sit your ass down somewhere. Anyway. What the fuck was I saying? I can't even remember. That nigga that pissed me off. My dog always pissed me off, bro. I don't know why the fuck this nigga always do that goofy shit.
The recording was presented in court by the prosecution of Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari during an argument.
How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house? Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things. Not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in.
Let me explain something to you what he's saying. Let me break this down. First of all, nigga, it's the most weirdest shit ever to be telling a white woman to be Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. It's the weird shit that's up. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But that's why I tell my brothers, like, you're doing too much when you fuck around on the other side, man. But anyway, you know what he was doing. He was trying to get this white woman to understand I am a black man in America. I am a superstar. Up and coming superstar. I feel I'm great. People might look at it, he being arrogant. No, nigga, he supposed to feel that way. He's competing too in that industry to be the great, to be one of the greats or be a star. He's supposed to feel that way. He's not being arrogant. He's supposed to feel that way. We didn't want to act. He got to be all humble to you. Fuck that, nigga. I love that he said that. I'm a great man. Salute to him. But what he was trying to get her white ass to understand, I'm a great man because of what I'm doing and who I feel as I am as a person, right? And the shit that I'm trying to do and that I am doing. You as a white woman, I'm already seen as my people in a way. So I'm working twice as hard to get my people to understand, even though I'm dating this white woman. I'm dating your ass. I'm with my motherfucking people. And I told y'all, that is one of the things that when you date outside your race, it's hard to do that. It's hard to keep black people on your side when black people see you dating outside of your race. You can call it black people being a little bigoted or selfish or whatever you may call it, but that's just how we are. It's weird to us. Just like how you see racist white people, I'm not saying we racist, but see how racist white people look at when they see an interracial couple, their women dating a black man or white man dating a black woman. It's weird to them. It fucks them up on some hating shit. For us, it's just weird. It's just like, you couldn't find a sister? I mean, that's your thing. It's cool. We accept it and everything, but you couldn't find a sister? You ain't learned from our ancestors, our elders? About dating outside your race, nigga? Okay. You think you can change this shit? Okay. Go ahead, nigga. We got you. Salute you. As long as you stay committed to your blackness. That's all we give a fuck about. You can fuck you date the white woman, date Mexican, whatever. Stay true to your people. That's all we care about. We don't give a fuck about you dating and marrying whoever fuck that nigga. That's you. You're attracted to who the fuck you're attracted to, but don't forget your people. I tell motherfuckers, this is where black people fuck up at. Motherfuckers get mad at me for saying this. Nigga, I'm about my people first. This ain't saying I hate everybody else or race, nigga, but I'm about my people first. That always got to be at the top of anything. My daughter's black, so that got to be the number one thing. Then my daughter, then everything else come. I'm about my people first, because I'm black too. I got a black wife. I got black nieces and nephews. You know what I mean? I got black people that fuck with me, rock with me, look up to me to a certain extent. Nigga, my people come first. That's all we ask. That's all, as black people, that's all we ask to our brothers and sisters that date outside our race. Don't forget, our people come first. Don't ever forget that. That's all we asking. Do you? I ain't mad at you because you dating a white woman. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Irrelevant to me. You love who you love, nigga. And when y'all fucking have babies, they gonna come out looking dark. Fuck we tripping about? We know what they are. Nigga babies. Regardless, you fuck that white woman and created some mixed breed. They nigga babies. What the fuck? Real black people will tell you that. But, you know, we live in this society where motherfuckers want to be too pro-black, and then motherfuckers want to act like, oh, it's all good if you had interracial dating. No, it's not. It's consequences that come with that shit. If you don't know the history of interracial dating from back in the day from our ancestors and our elders, something is wrong with you. Stop acting like because we live in, you think it's a different time. It's not. It's the same fucking time. It's the same fucking time. Black people still feel the same way how they felt back then. White people still, some black people still feel the same way, and a lot more feel the same way how people felt back then. And some of the white people that feel the way that they feel about interracial dating is no different than from back in the day. It's not. The only difference for me, I just don't really care. Just put your people first. Don't forget your people. Understand that you're black. You black and your kids is black. And like I said, and I'm going to be very, very honest about this. And people might get mad and upset at me for saying this, but it is what it is. When you talk about black history to a mixed breed child, they could be proud of that. But if that white woman or that white man started teaching that kid about white heritage, what they going to teach them about white American heritage? That the ancestors were slaves? Half of them are slaves? I mean, slave owners, I'm sorry. They own slaves? What is good about white Europeans' history in America? Nothing. Your history is about horrible ancestors. That was horrible people. Horrible. Your great-granddaddy probably was horrible. For all the fuck we know. But we know that y'all ancestry was horrible people. And we talk about black history. You know, start off fucked up. How shit builds up to be bigger and better people that fight for the good, for all. They fought for us, but they fought for all people. Not your people. Think about that. Listen, if I was white, let's just say I was white, I'd be ashamed. I'd be ashamed to be white in this country. Not ashamed like to be white, but I'd like the history. I say the history of my history. If I'm a white person, I'm ashamed of my history. I'm not glorifying that shit. Sad, bro. That people don't realize that shit. Let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Alright, people, we back from a quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys donate to the channel. Let's get back into it, people. We almost there.
The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the black community, as you're probably well aware, that people were saying, well, why was he telling this woman to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama? Give us like the context of the conversation.
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be, you know, these great men.
No. What he was telling her was that, look, white bitch, I chose you, and you a big disappointment. I thought you was different. All this shit, I could have went to go get me a sister. What he wound up doing. See, he ain't gonna be the real he ain't gonna say the real. He gonna be politically correct in that bullshit that he's saying. But that's what he really meant. Bitch, you know the risk I took to fuck with you, bitch? And then you get out here and act a goddamn fool, and then you ain't even a bigger star than me. And you out here acting like you done fucking made it. Cause you with me. Nobody knew who the fuck you were. White bitch. I could have got me a sister for all this bullshit. Because he thought the grass was greener. That's what he thought. Come to find out, nigga, the grass ain't green over that bitch. What happened? Getting this bullshit, what happened? The sister coming and back you up. The black sisters in the community back you up. The bros, we back you up. We know what just happened, but nigga, don't ever get it twisted again. The grass ain't greener over there, nigga. Stay your ass home. We know you came home, but stay your ass here. Don't go over there thinking the grass is greener. Don't let them white people bamboozle you and think that you ain't a nigga. They just gave you your nigga wake-up call. You better take that shit and really, really, truly learn and understand what the fuck just happened to your ass. And see that a sister backed you up with all them fucked up allegations from that white piece of shit ass woman that was beneath you anyway. Not just as a black man, just as your status, nigga. She wasn't even on your level. Listen, I'm not angry that he fucked with this white girl. I'm disappointed that you thought that you couldn't find a sister. You could find a sister that was just as crazy as this bitch. Honestly. And this shit might have came out a little different. She might have tried to get you to impregnate her or some shit so you can pay child support. They just fucked up to say, but nigga, that ain't the worst shit. Then somebody accusing you of assaulting her. Listen, I'll take a chick trying to bamboozle me to get a kid over a white woman accusing me of assaulting her. I'll tell you that shit. And I know when niggas gonna say, well, Kenny, you still can go to jail without paying your child support. Nigga, I'll pay that child support than to be sitting there being one to be I lose all my funding fucking with this white chick. This nigga didn't fuck this. She fucked this whole career up at this point. Nobody want to touch this nigga right now. He got to go away and hide, and hopefully he saved enough money to chill. She fucked this money up. She fucked the bag up. That's what he was telling them with the Coretta Scott King shit too. He was telling them, you gonna fuck the bag up. I'm trying to help us be this power couple. You out here fucking the bag up, bitch. Now, listen, now you do got some ignorant black women out here that'll fuck the bag up too. But it's rare. Not in that way. Not doing that. Come on, man. And listen, and let me just say this, and it might sound a little biased and a little disrespectful, but when the sister say that a brother put his hands on her or some shit like that, it's more believable. When white women say it, we, as black people, we are very skeptical. And then some of us be like, nigga, hey, you getting what you deserve, because ain't nobody tell you go over there fucking with that white bitch. That's how black people think. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Is it wrong? Yeah, a little bit. But that's just our reality. That's just the history of what this country been like. It's our history. So, yeah, man. See, I told you, I'm going to speak the truth. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat shit. Black people look at shit differently. I'm just telling you. Listen, it was a black sister, we been like, let's really pay attention to this shit. But if she'd have came out with all these so-called allegations and the story was the same, man, we'd have ridiculed that woman. We'd have ridiculed that sister. Man, get this bitch the fuck up out of here. She lying. We'd have did the same shit. In the beginning, we probably believed this sister. More believable. Just real shit. But when white women do that shit, I'm always skeptical. That interracial, I'm always skeptical about that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm very skeptical. Even when it comes to the sisters. Fucking with the white dudes. Listen, I'm skeptical about that. Because my thing is, you thought the grass was green over there, so you may be just trying to fuck them over because, you know, just saying. But the sisters just believable though. One thing about sisters, a lot of them don't be making that type of shit up. They really truly don't. It's very rare that you see a sister you be like, you don't believe her. Or about sexual assault or abuse of being abused and shit. It's very rare of that.
These great men, Martin, President Obama, in trying to give a reference point to that, I was attempting, and I did a terrible job at it apparently, I was attempting to motivate, to enlighten, to give perspective as into what it is I was hoping to get out of the relationship. I think that's fair.
In her closing argument, your attorney...
Just watching the brother's demeanor, it's just his demeanor. He's been running white people too long. And he carries himself like, you're going to respect me because I'm a very intelligent black man. That's what I kind of love about him. People might say he talking proper. He got this, it's almost like an arrogance, but like a confident thing that I see he got. I like that about him. Because his confidence is almost like, nigga, I know I'm the shit, but I'm going to show these motherfuckers like I've been working very hard. I had a hard life, and I'm going to show motherfuckers I'm this. You know what I mean? You try to prove yourself. It's a part of his downfall a little bit of what's happening to him. But the other part is I'm actually very, very intrigued by it. Like, I'm very I like that about it. He sit there with confidence. I like that shit. And it crosses legs on the nigga. You cross the legs, a big ass man like that cross his legs on you, nigga. Yeah, he confident. I fuck with that. Shout out to Jonathan Majors, man. We got your back, bro. Oh, listen, I got your back, bro. Love me some Jonathan Majors. I'm fucking with the white girls,
attorney said that your greatest fear of being a black man in America calling 911 came true, suggesting that race was a part of this. Do you feel that race is a part of this?
I mean, yeah, of course it is, without question. I mean, that quote-unquote guilty verdict.
Yeah, but the crazy part about that's the confusion. That's why black people always a little confused about shit, right? We don't want to say what I want to say, right? A lot of us don't. They don't like to say, nigga, you fuck around with that white girl. It comes with consequences with that. You date outside your race, it comes, especially fucking with white women. It comes with consequences like that. Motherfuckers don't want to be real and say that. But it actually is for black men. Listen. In America, nigga, as a black person, as a black man, we already considered a threat. No matter what, nigga, they ain't got to know us. Personally, they don't have to. The color of our skin is enough. Don't let you be a very confident black man. Don't let you be a black man that got some type of status. Or don't let you be a black man that has, you got a built to you and you kind of big and you look to them intimidating. Just saying. We already against, we already got something against us already. We already behind the 8 ball. Just because of the color of our skin. And then, nigga, you throw in you know, this dude, he get rich, you know, he's moving up and he's getting all this opportunity and people looking at him with respect, and then instead of him choosing a black woman, he chose a white woman. His prerogative. Niggas, them white people can't stand that shit. Some of them can't stand that. Listen, black people don't like it either, but nigga, we ain't that mad about it. We not like a lot of white people about that shit. But he already have something against him already. So I'm not shocked. And listen, he's a very intelligent man. A part of him knew it was a risk of dating this white woman in a way, but a part of him was a little naive to it. And that's why this shit ended up the way it did. If you watch his actions through this whole shit, that whole situation, and even now, he knew. Sometimes you got to read between the lines of what people are saying. He don't want to say what I'm saying. Like, he got to sugarcoat it. I don't have to. Right? Because number one, I ain't in his position. And then number two, I wasn't in his type of situation. Right? And I don't date outside my race. I ain't saying I ain't never fuck outside of my race, but I don't date outside of my race. So, we in so many different like situations. So I can say the shit that he really is trying to say, but he's saying it in a political way so where people can accept it. I don't give a fuck if you accept it or not. Because the truth hurts. So we all know in this reality that we live in, people don't like the truth. They really live in fantasy land. So why would I give a fuck if you accept what I'm saying? That's up to you if you want to. The truth is the truth. You can make up and make believe shit all you want, but the truth is truth. Black people has a problem with any black people dating outside their race. Facts. You know what is a fact? Any other race outside of black people got a problem with their race dating outside of their race. They are facts. But when black people do it, oh my God. Woo, but y'all talk about discrimination. Nigga. Who we hurt? Who we hurting? By speaking the truth. You can be proud of your heritage, your people, your culture. You want your people to date your people, but we can't say the same shit? How is that we being bigots and hypocrites when you can say the same shit? Fuck that. I'm riding with mine. I don't listen. I don't hate. I'm not mad. I'm not being bigoted or anything like that. I just don't like when I see black people dating outside our race. And it's plenty of reasons for that. But number one is because I understand that there's consequences for it. And I don't like we already, as black people, we already got a strike against us because of the color of our skin. Why make it worse? That's how I look at that shit. That's what my grandmother told me. And she wasn't lying. The same shit that she told me back in the day, even before I was even born, the shit was already happening. And the same exact shit is happening now from what she was telling me that happened, that she experienced. So I'm not hating. I'm not being a bigot. It's not even that I dislike it. I don't like it because I understand the consequences of it. That's it. But to each his own if you do it. I ain't turning my back on you or no shit like that, but I will turn my back on if you don't keep your people first. That's how I look at it. And I always say, when you date white people, what is their culture? Honestly, listen, as y'all my viewers and fans, right? As we family at the end of the day. Tell me what is white people's culture in America? Honestly, nothing other than stealing, killing, murdering, and raping. That's their culture. All evil shit. Who accepts that? Who's be okay with that type of shit? Not me. They're talking about, oh, white people bring Christianity to black people. We already been religious. Christianity comes from the motherland, nigga. They didn't teach us nothing. They just taught us a certain type of religion for us to self-hate each other. To accept slavery. Come on. They didn't help black people. They didn't. What did they do? Anything that they did was evil. Nothing they did was about everybody. Or they cared about black people or cared about other people. They didn't do no shit like that. That's not what their history is about in this country. They never did it for everybody. They even hated their own women. That's why you think that white women is so obsessed with black dick. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. We gotta stop this faking. Stop acting like white people got some type of history in this country. If they do got some history, the history is horrible. What is their history? What is their culture? If they got culture, what is their culture in this country? Ask yourselves that. I don't give a fuck what color skin you are. Ask yourself that question. What is their culture? What is white Americans' culture in America? I'm gonna leave that down. Shout out to Jonathan Major, man. My brother, I hope you learn from dating outside your race. I'm not telling people that they shouldn't date outside their race. You do, you find who you in love with. But I'm just telling you, when you date outside your race, it comes with a consequence. That's why every other minorities and other races of people really push for their people to date their own. It's a reason for it. Especially in this racist ass world. This world is racist. It ain't just America. The whole world is racist. The whole world is bigoted. We sit here and try to live in this weird ass la la land. Yeah, we want change, of course. But stop acting like we don't see what we see. We want to change what we see, but don't act like we don't see what we see. Somebody left me an email a while ago, right? I want to say this before I leave. Some troll, right? Leave this shit email and tell me. You talk about race too much. How are we supposed to come together and shit like that? Let me explain this to any and everybody. Not just to this idiot that said that. What universe or what generation you from that where race doesn't matter? Now, you can sit there and pretend that race doesn't matter in any generation. That's on your stupidity. But for me, as a 42-year-old black man that knows history and knows how this shit goes, and I live in reality, Don't ever fucking question me or why I talk about race. Race deals with everything. It's like politics. When motherfuckers say, you're making everything about politics. Nigga, politics is in everything, in all our lives. Racism is the same way. Race matters in everything. You know why? Because of white people's history. They made it that way. So for we in 2023, for a stupid motherfucker to ask me why you talk about race all the time and talk about that. I didn't create this shit. If I didn't want to, listen, if I could not talk about this shit, I wouldn't talk about it. But I'd be a goddamn fool and I'd be selfish and a coward not to speak on what the fuck is real. Blame your ancestors. How about you blame your people for it? Don't come over here and leave comments and emails and shit or talk about why I talk about race so much, motherfucker. You ask your people why. Don't ask me why. I don't got to explain myself to you in that way. And I ain't even going to go into details about it, but I just want you to understand, don't come over here asking me stupid shit like that. If you don't know why, then nigga, that's the problem. You cracker ass cracker. That is why. That is the problem. Because if you don't know why, then that's the problem. I ain't never say I hate all white people. I just speak truth to power. You don't want to hear that. You just want to pretend and sit there, I got some black friends. Nigga, I got some white friends. What that mean? Nothing. When it comes to racism, nothing. I don't hang around my white friends all the time, and you damn sure don't hang around black people all the time, so stop it. And if you do got that one black friend, salute to you. And your black friends, you should know better than even say anything to me like that. Because you got a black friend, right? That's like me asking a white person why they people so racist. Some of their people so racist. If I don't know why, then I'm just an ignorant, stupid fool. Just like you was stupid and ignorant fool to ask me why I always keep talking about race. Because it matters. It exists. What universe you living in? You goddamn idiot. I'll be sick of people just doing that dumb shit. They know the shit is there and they ignore the truth. The truth is right in front of you. You see it, but it ain't really like that. It's just their opinion. Listen, I have plenty of opinions. You know what was one of my opinions? Right? That I believe, my opinion, right? You can tell me if it's right or wrong. But this is my opinion. My opinion is, and I believe this, because this is my opinion, that you can't trust white people. Did that make me racist or a bigot? Or does that make it my opinion? Tell me how that feel then, bitch. Tell me how that feel. So don't question black people about why we keep talking about race, bitch. Don't ever do that. I believe white people can't be trusted. My opinion. That's racist and bigoted, right? So when y'all say certain shit to us, you don't think that shit comes off as racist and bigoted to us? Stupid questions? Stupid opinions? Right? Now, let me be real. I don't truly think that. But I'm just saying, what if that was my opinion? And I truly believe that. Wouldn't that make me a bigot or some shit when you call me out on my shit? So I can't call you out for saying shit that you believe or your opinion in which you truly believe? I suppose ignore that? But if I tell you some bigoted, racist shit and how I really truly feel, you can depict that. You can break that down and say, oh, you being racist, you been a hypocrite, you been a bigot, and all that other shit. But I can't, or I'm race baiting. But I can't do that with you. You can only have an opinion about race, not me. You ain't never been black. I ain't never been white. But I tell you one motherfucking thing, I ain't never been racially profiled by a black person. I ain't never been racially assaulted by a black person because I was black. Never happened to me. So you take that how you want to take it. To that motherfucker that left me that dumbass email. You take that shit how you want to take it. I'm going to continue to speak the truth. Shout out to my brother my brother LT. We talk about that cat shit. That cat interview, before I get out here, I'm going to do a whole thing on that. But listen. The cat going on my wall too. That shit taking a little minute because fucking wherever you order from, like to get certain photos and shit like that, that should take a little minute. But anyway, excuse me. When I see Cat talk, it just remind me of me. Like, that's the OG. I see me in him. Like, or the vice versa, you can say, right? But you can't. It's hard to be real now. And then when you speak truth to power and you speak the truth, motherfuckers acting like you doing something wrong. And every time I hear Cat talk, I just be like, yo, I see people comments like, y'all act like he did something, he said something wrong. He didn't say nothing wrong. You niggas just ain't listening because y'all on some stupid shit. You glorifying people that you shouldn't glorify. That's all Cat is saying. At the end of the day, because I got a show about that, but at the end of the day, people glorify people that they shouldn't glorify. Honestly, that's what I get from Cat. And then the motherfuckers that actually do good shit and great shit that don't kiss and suck ass, kiss ass and suck dick to get to where they want to be, we the wrong ones. We the aggressors. We don't want to get in line to how the status quo go. No, hell no. I don't want to kiss ass and suck dick to make it to the top. I don't want to shit and hurt on other people to get to the top, nigga. I want to do this like, y'all say y'all believe in religion and God. I want to do it like God said to do it. You keep praising motherfuckers that was supposed to be this way and like that and you respect. That stood for something. They had this shit in their quotes, but you ignore it. Anyway, let's move on, people. Let me get the fuck out of here. Leave comments, hit that like button, support your boy. It's your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world. before we get out of here, let me shout out to LT, my brother LT in the building, MGM boy, and my man talking in the building, man, be in the chat, showing love, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace and love to the world.